What up guys, Miguel here from Tech, and POCO has built itself a good reputation for providing great performing phones at really good prices. All the way from the legendary POCO phone F1, we are now on the 5th iteration of POCO's flagship lineup with the POCO F5 Pro. But does it deliver on the POCO name and legacy? Let's find out. The POCO F5 Pro is POCO's flagship smartphone, and it definitely feels like it. It has a glass back, a metal frame, and an overall thin profile. The back of the F5 Pro has a nice curve to its edge, making it comfortable to hold as it feels like the phone can seamlessly fill the palm of your hand. Our review unit is in this very classic white colorway that seems like the F5 Pro will also be available in black as well. While the whole phone feels and looks really premium, we do have to note that the glass back makes the phone a bit slippery. Personally, I'd invest in a case to add a bit more of a grip to the F5 Pro. We also have a unique camera bump at the back that looks futuristic and classy. The F5 Pro is also rated for IP53 splash and dust resistance. We would have loved it if it had a higher IP rating, but we're just glad it has one in the first place. Overall, it's a big thumbs up for the F5 Pro in terms of design and construction. This is undoubtedly a premium built smartphone. The POCO F5 Pro features a 6.67-inch WQHD Plus Flow AMOLED dot display with a 3200 by 1440 resolution and a 120Hz refresh rate, which makes the display of the F5 Pro one of its best features. The AMOLED screen produces really good colors and impressive viewing angles. Due to that peak brightness, it can also get really bright. Without a doubt, you won't have any trouble viewing the F5 Pro under direct sunlight. The 120Hz refresh rate also makes the whole navigation experience feel really fast and fluid. While it's clear that POCO didn't skip out on the F5 Pro's display, we also really appreciate that they used a flat screen instead of the curved displays we usually find on flagship phones. Flat displays are a lot easier to handle in general, and we love to see it here on the F5 Pro. The small bezels also help the overall viewing experience on the F5 Pro feel really immersive. Under the F5 Pro's display is an optical in-display fingerprint sensor that's fast and accurate. We also have Face Unlock on the F5 Pro, which was also surprisingly fast, although this isn't as secure as the fingerprint scanner, so do keep that in mind. In terms of speakers, the F5 Pro has a stereo setup comprised of a downward-firing speaker at the bottom and an earpiece speaker at the top. The two speakers work together reasonably well, producing a balanced, full sound that doesn't distort at high volumes, making the overall content consumption experience really good. One thing that impressed us a ton was the F5 Pro's haptics. The vibration and haptic feedback on the F5 Pro felt really tight and finely tuned. It felt like vibrations for things such as the keyboard taps, powering on the device, or using the fingerprint sensor were all tastefully customized and calibrated to give varying degrees of vibration strength. This made our experience using the F5 Pro feel even more premium and top quality. Lastly, the F5 Pro has an IR blaster up top, a feature we've sorely missed to have and is going to be perfect for those of you who want their phone to double as a universal remote. Moving on to the camera, photos from the F5 Pro are above average. They're not the best in the game right now, but they're certainly not the worst. In good lighting, photos came out sharp and detailed with good color. We did notice that photos from the F5 Pro tended to have a blue or cooler overall temperature to them, which may or may not be your cup of tea, so that is worth mentioning. The Ultrawide is good, but the colors here are more muted than the images we got from the main sensor. Photos from the selfie camera are sharp and skin tones were decently reproduced. We did notice that some selfies were a bit overexposed, even in good lighting conditions. It's the same story on the video side for the F5 Pro. Footage, while clear and smooth, would sometimes come out with blown out highlights, and it was clear that it struggled to figure out how to expose depending on the lighting conditions. Despite that, the camera performance from the POCO F5 Pro gets around a B- to B. This is definitely not a smartphone that you'll think of buying if you want a great camera, but for occasional snap or video, it'll serve you just fine. Now, for the part that we've all been waiting for, performance. Powering the POCO F5 Pro is a flagship Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 processor with either 8 or 12 gigs of RAM and 256 or 512 gigs of internal storage. Our review unit comes with 12 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of internal storage. And as expected, the POCO F5 Pro just flies. You can throw any task at it and the F5 Pro will handle it with no problem. Navigating through the UI, using all kinds of apps and playing games were a breeze. And that's to be expected given that POCO has built its name at offering performance-oriented devices. For benchmarks, the F5 Pro got these results. For gaming, casual games like Mobile Legends and Call of Duty Mobile can run at the highest settings without any issue. Meanwhile, Genshin Impact did default to medium, which ran pretty well at 60 frames per second, but if you want to run it at the highest settings available, you will experience some frame drops here and there, but nothing too jarring in terms of the overall gameplay, if that's your thing. With that fast display, amazing performance, and great speakers, gaming on the F5 Pro is a dream come true. POCO F5 Pro runs on Xiaomi's MIUI 14 based on Android 13 with the POCO launcher on top. Xiaomi and Redmi users will be right at home with MIUI 14, which is to say that it offers a refined and polished experience with heavy helping of bloatware, app recommendations, and ads within the user interface. We personally would have loved it if MIUI 14 was cleaner and had less bloat overall, especially since you'll need around 50 to 20 minutes to just hide and organize all the unnecessary apps you get out of the box. Beyond that though, MIUI 14 is a really good Android skit. Animations and transitions feel smooth and snappy, and there's a decent amount of customization afforded to users here. We personally like the different always-on display options that you could choose from MIUI 14. There is a theme store for those of you who want to give their device a whole new look, but for us, we just like to keep everything stock as is. The main benefit we found with the POCO launcher is the app drawer. It automatically categorizes your apps into different sections depending on their purpose, such as grouping apps for communication, tools, entertainment, or photography. You can even have the launcher organize apps in the app drawer by color, which is pretty cool and something I haven't seen anywhere else before. Except for the bloat and the ads, MIUI 14 and the POCO launcher is a really good operating system experience that I would personally have no trouble daily driving for the long term. It's really good. For connectivity, we of course get 5G on the POCO F5 Pro 5G, as well as support for NFC and dual SIM slots at the bottom. No microSD card expansion to be found here. We have a 5160 mAh cell with support for 67-watt wired turbo charging and 30-watt wireless fast charging. For more testing, the POCO F5 Pro can last the whole day with no problem. Using it for gaming, taking photos and videos, social media browsing, and day-to-day tasks couldn't kill the battery in a day, even with the large high refresh rate display. On PCMark's Work 3.0 battery test, the F5 Pro lasted for 13 hours and 12 minutes. While on our proprietary video loop test where we played a 1080p video at 50% brightness, airplane mode turned on, and volume muted, the F5 Pro lasted a whopping 22 hours and 45 minutes. Which is... So, to conclude this video, we are happy to report that the POCO F5 Pro definitely lives up to its POCO name. It has great performance, a great screen, really good haptics, and a premium design fit for a flagship phone. While the cameras are only above average and MIUI still has more bloatware than we prefer, the overall package you get with the F5 Pro makes it a strong contender to being one of the top phones of 2023. The POCO F5 Pro will come in two colors, black and white. Recommended retail prices start at 26,999 pesos. The POCO F5 Pro will also be available for purchase at an early bird price of 24, 25, and 27,999 pesos respectively for the above-mentioned configurations starting May 9 via POCO's official store in Shopee. So, what do you guys think of the POCO F5 Pro? Are you considering getting one of these yourself? Let us know in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to smack that like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit that bell icon so you get notified of our future uploads. Be sure to visit yugatech.com for the latest tech news and reviews. Again, this has been Miguel, and I'll see you in the next one.